Okay, so here we've got some examples of timesing and dividing with fractions. So the key thing we've got to remember when we're timesing is that it's numerators and denominators together. So if I've got something like a over b times c over d, then you times the numerators a times c, you times the denominators b times d, so the answer will be ac over bd if I just replace the AB and CD with their values. So in this example here, then we've got 3 times 8 times the numerators together, 4 times 10 times the denominators together, 3 8s are 24, 4 10s are 40. Always though, and the question gives you a hint, simplest form. So we look for the highest common factor that goes into both of these, which happens to be 8. Divide 24 by 8, we get 3. Divide 40 by 8, we get 5. So always simplify down to get the smallest possible values for the fraction. So 3/5 will be the final answer there. Now when we're dividing by fractions, we've got to be really careful, and to me the quickest way of doing this all the time is that you turn both fractions into improper fractions. If one's already a proper fraction, great, leave it as that, but any mixed numbers always become an improper fraction. So what we've got to ask ourselves is, in 3 1/4, how many quarters are there? Because we're dealing with quarters because of the fraction part of the mixed number. 4 3s are 12 plus 1. So times and then add will always tell me how many of each fraction there are. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus the 1 is 13. So we've got 13 quarters in 3 1/4. If you're not sure why that worked, then just imagine what the 3 whole ones look like. They're made up of 4 quarters in each whole one. And then you've got the extra quarter, and then 4 quarters plus 4 quarters plus 4 quarters plus an extra quarter is 13 quarters. So basically when you're doing division with fractions, make sure they're both looking like a fraction form, so one number, a numerator on top of a denominator. Whether they're improper or proper doesn't matter. So 3 3/4 we've turned into 13 quarters. We're dividing by 5/8. So what we're to remember with division and fractions is that we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So the reciprocal means we're doing 1 divided by this, and basically that always causes a fraction to flip over and reverse itself. The first fraction doesn't change. We then turn this into a times sum, because timesing we've seen is very easy. Just times the numerators times the denominators. So we turn a division into a times by taking the reciprocal of the second fraction. And the reciprocal literally means flip the fraction over. So it becomes the numerator denominator swap positions, 8 over 5. So this becomes 13 times 8 over 4 times 5. Well, 13 8 is 114. 8 10s are 80, 8 3s are 24, so it's 104, sorry. 8 10s are 80, 8 3s are 24, add those together, 104, and 4 5s are 20. Again, we can never leave improper fraction as a final answer unless the question said, what is the improper fraction as the answer? Because we should always be doing simplest form. So how many 20s go into 104? 5. So 5 whole ones, and 5 20s are 100. Take that away from 104 is 4, so 4 20ths. But again, it's about simplest form. Look to always see whether the fraction part will actually cancel down. We will see that both of these are in the 4 times table. So we can divide both of these by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So our final answer here will be 5 and 1/5. So a quick summary of how to multiply and divide by fractions.